Hello everyone, my name is Gavin, and this is the Orthodox Heathen, the channel where we take a look at and answer questions from the lore. In this video, we'll be continuing on with reading the lore, reading the Grímnismál, the words of Grímnir. So kick back, relax, and listen. The Grímnismál, Hollander translation. King Hrolfung had two sons, Agnar and Geirröð. Agnar was 10 years old, Geirröð 8. One day they were rowing in a boat with their tackle to catch small fry, when the wind blew them out to sea. In the darkness of night they were dashed against the land. They made the shore and found a cotter. They stayed there that winter. The good wife fostered Agnar the good man, Geirröð, and counseled him in shrewdness. In spring he got them a boat, and when he and his wife led them down to the shore, he spoke secretly with Geirröð. They had a fair wind and came to their father's landing place. Geirröð was forward in the boat. He leapt out on the shore and thrust the boat back into the sea and said, "Now go where all trolls may take thee." Agnar drifted out to sea, but Geirröð went up to the buildings. He was warmly welcomed, and as his father had died, he was made king and became a famous leader. One day Odin and Frigg were sitting in Hlidskjalf, and were looking out upon all the worlds. Then said Odin, "Dost thou see Agnar, thy foster son, how he begets children with an ogress in a cave? But Geirröð, my foster son, is king in the land." Frigg answered, "He is so grudging about his food that he lets his guests die of hunger when he thinks too many have come." Odin said that this was a gross lie, and so they laid a wager about this matter. Frigg sent her chambermaid Fulla to Geirröð to tell him to beware lest he be bewitched by a warlock who was then come into the land. She told him that the warlock could be recognized by this, that no dog was so fierce as to rush at him. But it was evil slander to say that King Geirröð was not generous about his food. Yet he had that man taken captive, whom his dogs would not set on. He was clad in a blue cloak, and gave his name as Grímnir, and said no more about himself, though he was asked. The king tortured him to make him speak, by setting him between two fires, and there he sat for 8 nights. Geirröð had a son 10 years old, who was named Agnar after his brother. Agnar went up to Grímnir and gave him a full horn to drink from, and said that the king did ill to torture one who had done no wrong. Grímnir emptied it. By that time the fire had come so near him that his cloak began to burn. He said, "Hot art thou, blaze, and too high withal. Get, fire, thee farther away. My Freya's coat is singed, though I flung it aloft. Flares up the fur in the flames. 8 nights famished, twixt the fires I sat, nor did anyone fetch me food, but Agnar only, who after shall rule, Geirröð's son, o'er the Goths. All hail to thee, for happiness is given thee, Agnar by Odin. Better guerdon shalt never get, for 1 beaker of beer. The land is holy which lies yonder, near to Aesir and Alfs. In Thrudheim there shall Thore dwell, till draws nigh the doom of the gods. On Idal's plains Utl hath reared him, his hall timbered on high, for Frey's tooth fee was fashioned of yore, Alfholm, as gift by the gods. A third hall still, all thatched with silver, was built by the blessed gods. In Valaskjalf hall did house himself Odin in the old days. Sokjavek, called is the fourth, which cool waters ripple round about. There Odin and Saga all their days drink, glad from golden cups. Gladholm is hight the 5th, where golden shimmering Valhall is widely spread out. Here Odin chooses every day weapon-slain warriors. Easily known to Yg's chosen are the heavenly halls, the rafters, spear shafts, the roofs shield-shingled, and the benches strewn with byrnies. Easily known to Yg's chosen are the heavenly halls. A wolf hangeth o'er the western gate, and hovers an eagle on high. Thrymheim is hight the 6th, where Thjatsi dwelled, the Eton of awful might. Njord's bride there her bower hath, Skathi where her father before. Breiðablik, the 7th, where Balder the good hath reared him his bright abode. In that land it lies, where least I know, falsehood and faithlessness. Himinbjorg the 8th, there Heimdall, they say, guards the holy hall. There the god's warder in goodly stead the mead drinks glad in mind. Folkvang the ninth, where Freya chooses whose seats shall have in her hall. Half of the slain are hers each day, and half are Odin's own. Glitnir the 10th, which with gold is propped, and is shingled with shining silver. There Forseti unflagging sits, the god that stills all strife. Noaton the 11th, where Njorth hath him reared his bright abode. The sinless god his seat there has, and rules in high-timbered hall. Greenwoods grow, and grasses tall, in Vithi, Vidar's land. From horseback leaps the hero, eager to avenge his father's fall. By Andhrimnir and Eldhrimnir, Sehrimnir, the boar is boiled, the best of bacons, though 'tis barely known what the Einheyar eat. Valfather feeds Freki and Geri on the flesh of the fallen, but weapon-glad Odin on wine only lives forever and day. The whole earth over every day hover Hugin and Munin. I dread lest Hugin droop in his flight, yet I fear me still more for Munin. Thrund roars loudly, sports Thjolfitnir's fish in the foaming flood. The strong stream seems too stiff to wade, for warriors to Valhall bent. Valgrind is the gate that wards the gods, high nigh holy doors. Old is that wicket, nor wot many, with what bolt that gate is barred. 500 rooms, and 40 withal, I ween that in Bilskirne be. Of all the halls which on high are reared, the greatest I see is my son's. 500 doors, and 40 withal, I ween that in Valhall to be. 800 warriors through one door hie them, when they fare forth to fight the wolf. Heidrun the goat, on the hall that stands, eateth of Leirith's limbs. The crock she fills with clearest mead, will that drink ne'er e'er be drained. Eikthrnir the hart, on the hall that stands, eateth of Leirid's limbs. Drops from his horns in Fergamir's fall, thence wend all the waters their way. Sith in Vith, Soken in Eigen, Svol in Gunthro, Fjorm in Fimbleful, Rin in Rinandi, Gipul in Gopul, Gomul in Gervirmul. They flow by the garth of the gods. Thin in Vin, Thol in Hol, Grath in Gulthorin. Vina is height one, Vegsvin the other, the third Thjolf Numa. Neat in Not, Non in Hron, Sleeth in Hrith, Silg in Ilg, Vil in Van, Vond in Strond, Gjol in Leipter, flow in the land of men, but hence flow to hell. Kornt and Ornt, and the Kerlogs twain, Thord is wade through every day, to doom when he fares neath the ash Yggdrasil. For the bridge of the gods is ablaze with flames, hot are the holy waters. An eagle sitteth on Yggdrasil's limbs, whose keen eyes widely ken. Twixt his eyes a fallow falcon is perched, hight Veterfulnir, and watcheth. Reptatusk the squirrel is hight, which runneth about the ash Yggdrasil. The warning words of the watchful eagle he bears to Nidhogg beneath. 4 hearts also the highest shoots a gnaw from beneath, Dane and Dvalin, Durnir and Dirathror. More worms do lie the world tree beneath than unwise apes may ween. Goin and Moin, which are Grothfitnir's sons, Grobak and Grothvoloth, Ofnir and Svofnir. I fear me, on that tree's twigs will batten. The ash Yggdrasil doth ill abide, more than to men is known. The heart browsing above, its bowl rotting, and Nidhogg gnawing beneath. Hrist and Mist the horn shall bear me, Skeguld and Skogul, but Hild and Thruth, Hlock and Hirfjolter, Gol and Gernol, Rangrith and Rathgrith, and Regenleith, to the Einheyar ale shall bear. Arvakar and Alsvith they up shall draw the sun's wane warily, but under their bellies the blessed gods have hidden the icy irons. Svalin is height the sun before, a shield from the shining god. Would smoke and smolder both sea and land, if from him it should ever fall. Skoll the wolf in the sky dogs him to the warding woods, but Hati the other, Hrolfvitnir's son, follows the fair orb too. Of Ymir's flesh the blood was shaped, of his blood the briny sea, of his hair the trees, the hills of his bones, and out of his skull the sky. But of his lashes the loving gods made Midgarth for the sons of men. From his brow they made the menacing clouds which in the heavens hover. Will Ul befriend him and all the gods who first the fire quenches, for open lie to the Aesir all worlds when kettles are heaved from the earth. In earliest times Ivaldi's sons, Skithbladnir, the ship did shape, the best of boats for beaming Frey, the noble son of Njord. The ash Yggdrasil is of all trees best. Skithbladnir, the best of boats, the holy gods Odin, of horses Sleipnir, of bridges Bifrost, of skalds Bragi, of hawks Habrok, of hounds all Garm. Now my looks have I lifted aloft to the gods, help will come from on high, from all the Aesir which in shall come on Aegir's benches at Aegir's feast. Grim is my name, and Gangleri, Herjan and Hjalmberi, Thek and Thriri, Thuth and Uth, Helblindi and Har, Sath and Svipal and Sangetal, Hertite and Nikar, Bileg and Baleg, Bolverk, Folnir, Grim and Grimnir, Glapsvith, Fjolsvith, Sithhut, Sithskeg, Sigfather, Nikoth, Allfather, Valfather, Atrith, Formatir, and by one name was I not welcomed ever, since among folk I fared. Grimnir my name in Geroth's hall, but Yelk in Osmund's. Was I Kjalarheit when the hand sled I drew, but Throrr at things. Vithor in wars, Oski and Omi, Jafenhar, Biflindi, Gondlir, and Harbarth among gods. Svíðr and Svífþrir at Sokmimir's was I, when the old Etten I hid. When Mithvitnir's the mighty one's son I slew. Thou art muddled, Geroth, too much thou hast drunk. Of much art robbed, since rashly thou losest Odin's and the Einhear's favour. Full long I spake, but little thou mindest. Faithless friends betray thee. Before me I see my foster son's sword, its blade all dripping with blood. A death-doomed man will soon drink with Ig, not long the life left thee. The Norns wish thee ill, now Odin mayest see, come thou near if thou canst. Now Odin's my name, Ig I was hight, Thund my name ere then, Vak and Skilfing, Vathruth and Hroptatir, Gaut and Yelk among gods, Ofnir and Svafnir, they all have become one with me, I ween. King Geroth was sitting with his sword on his knees half unsheathed, but when he heard that it was Odin who had come to him, he arose and wanted to take him from between the fires. His sword slid from his hands with its hilt downward. The king stumbled and fell forward. The sword pierced him, and so he lost his life. Then Odin vanished, but Agnar was king in that land for a long time.